First, I hit him with a strong wood. I made sure that he is dead. Then with his security machete, I butchered off his head from his neck. I hurriedly inserted his head inside the polythene bag I was with. My name is Jacob. I'm 36 years of age. I beheaded my best friend for fortification and ritual for my new church. I and Peter were very good friends from time. But it got to a time, wealth and hunger for powers was all I wished. I had no other option than to behead my best friend. But does this happen in real life? Yes, it happens. I beheaded my best friend Peter for my new church fortification, but something happened. I will tell you. I won't waste much of your time. I will tell you my story. Beheading my best friend was what I never thought of. I am Jacob, 36 years old, happily married with 3 kids. I'm from somewhere in West Africa. Peter used to be my very good friends. We shared every secret and watched each other's back. I was a carpenter while Peter, my friend, was a security man. Everything was moving quite well for me, but it got to a point when the quest for riches and powers was all I wanted, not thinking twice what the consequences might be. Peter, my friend, had 6 little kids. Life wasn't quite simple for him as it was for me. He finds it difficult to cater for his family's welfare due to the monthly payment of his security salary. The view of behaving my best friend surfaced when I met Pastor James. Can you imagine that a pastor, one who preaches the word of God, led me into beheading my very good friend? Never trust anyone. Pastor James was one that lured me into the church business and the idea of beheading my best friend. I and Pastor James had known each other for a very long time. Yes, I constructed an altar stand for him 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. It was a busy sunny day in Timberland Wood Market. Factoring and furniture work are almostly done. I was busy in my shade with some piece of furniture I was delivered to my client when a man walked up to my shade. The man called me by my name. I was still struggling with my mind to recognize him because he looked familiar. Where do you know me from? I asked him where he knew me from. I waited for some seconds. Oh, Pastor James, wow, you're not looking bad, I exclaimed as we exchanged pleasantries and chatted as we sipped from the bottles of beer I ordered from a restaurant behind my shade. Ah, Pastor, you're not looking bad at all. We are just fresh and glowing. Pastor, connect me now, update me, eh? What are friends for? I dramatically expressed my words as Pastor James kept smiling. I used the word update because along my chat with Pastor James, I discovered he was into church business. Pastor James smiled at me when I made mention of the word update. He said to me, Jacob, my friend, Jacob, are you sure you can do this? I replied, Pastor James, I can do anything it takes. I'm a capable man, you know, of course. I can write, I can read, I can do anything, I said to Pastor James dramatically. This is not a matter of reading and writing. It doesn't end there. Pastor James drew himself closer to me as he whispered to my ear, can you make sacrifices? Sacrifice? I replied reluctantly. Yes, you heard me right. Sacrifices. Whoa. I was dumbfounded for some seconds. I went home that day. I never thought of making sacrifices, but this time around, all I wanted was prominence. One brightful Sunday morning, around 10:30 p.m., I dressed up and traced out for Pastor James' church with the address he gave me at our previous meeting. What my eyes saw made me speechless. Pastor James' church was completely sold out. I mean, it was packed with a lot of people, both men and women. The parking space was slightly occupied with expensive cars. If you see how dramatic Pastor James' healing was, even during the donation period, the church members were donating huge sums of money. I was speechless. After the service, I met with Pastor James. He introduced me to his assistant who took me to a huge river miles away from the city we were in. When we got there, what my eyes saw, my mouth cannot say it. A huge snake came out. I wanted to run, but I held to myself. The snake opened its mouth and we stepped inside. I was unconscious till we got to the other side of the river. On getting there, I regained my consciousness. This time around, I met with a very tall man of about 30 feet tall. That's too big. He asked what I came for, and I told him everything. He uttered 3 things that I need for the fortification for the growth of my new church. He said that if I want my church to grow, that I will have to bury the head of a fowl, head of a goat, head of a cow, and a human head. I had no other option than to accept. After the whole fortification, he gave me a ring which will be used for my miracles. When I got home with the little savings I have kept for some months, I hired a land where I will build my church. I did everything the man asked me to do, but it's remaining only one thing, a human head. Who will I go for now? That was the thought I was having in my mind. Peter will go for it. Yes, I will go for my friend. I will go for my friend's head. This was what I said to myself. The following morning, I set off to the place where my friend Peter was living. PP, how far now? I and my friend exchanged pleasantries as we drank our normal live beer. During the chat, I asked him where his duty post is for the day. He told me, not knowing that I had other plans for him in mind. Later the following day around 5:40 p.m., I traced my friend Peter to the place he told me that he was posted for the night security work. When I got there, I saw my friend Peter sleeping with his head leaned to a wall and his security gun standing behind him. I never thought twice. First, I hit him with a strong wood. I made sure that he is dead. Then with his security machete, I butchered off his head from his neck. I hurriedly inserted his head inside the polythene bag I was with and walked down the street with anxiety. I got to a bus stop. I stopped the tricycle rider because it was early that day. When I was giving him the direction of where he is going to take me to, he saw blood dripping off from the polythene bag I was carrying. He noticed something strange. He screamed loud when the people living around that area came out and forced me to untie the bag I was holding. They were shocked when they saw the head of a popular security man, loved by all. They gave me the toughest beating of my life. During the process, they almost burnt me. The police came and took me away. I pray that God will forgive me for my act and for the one listening to my voice. Please don't trust anyone, no matter what. I'm Jacob. This is my story. Hope you learned something from my story. Thanks for listening to my story. So guys, this is just a fiction, even though it happened real. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more stories. I hope you learned something from this story.